any moment. So we were talking before about time. So I was washing the dishes and I didn't keep the dish soap in for the coffee mugs that had coffee in them. So really I saw what was in front of me, but I wasn't prepped for what was to come. And so that is something to talk about, is that sometimes in design and in what we're doing, are we too focused on what's in front of us, what's right in front of us, instead of what's to come? So that is the question. So anyone with thoughts about that, or if that triggers anything with where you're at, that is need to think more broad. And I'm gonna hit mute so that the background noise is lessened and open the floor to it. Oh, and we are actually at 10 after. So we're gonna go to our breakout room. Here we go. So to remind of the question, when we see what's in front of us and we're looking at just what's in front of us, how can we look around to prepare for the design and having courage in the design for today and for the future? So I would love to open that up to everyone, to be able to say, what are the things that you're needing to design that you've got to look outside of your outside of what's in front of you right now. And anyone can take yourself off of mute to be able to, like, this isn't a call on thing, but when you have ideas to share about it, or even questions to share about it, then we can mastermind through that.
So I was sharing this morning about how, like, I personally am like our daily focus sheet where we have 3 must-dos and a bonus, and there's a think tank section. Like, I have actually started reprinting these specific papers out to keep me in alignment and staying focused on what is in front of me with the bigger picture in mind. So like the practice of making sure like this is where where my intention is so that I don't get blinded by what's in front of me, but I also know what is further than 3 steps away. So that was what was coming to me. I've been talking about this all morning, so I was just giving a little airspace for anyone else that might have something to share about their thoughts about the question. But
I love that thinking of what is further than 3 steps in front of us. You know, so to know the 3 steps, to know the 3 must-dos, because it said that you can do 3 things in an excellent way in a day. You can do 5 things well or good, and then anything over 5, then it doesn't get enough of you. So in that's why we've got 3 things in our daily focus sheet, in our where okay, these are the 3 things that I'm going to do for sure, and I'm going to do them excellent. It also helps us to not squirrel and to not, because sometimes we can even be looking at all the big things around us that we miss what's right in front of us, you know, or we're just looking at what's right in front of us that we miss the overall, you know. And so in that, to be able to structure ways that we can have the 3 must-dos and then the bonus, because it's easy to forget about ourselves also. It's easy to forget the things that we love to do or the things that bring us joy. So I love that that's like, what are things that are further than 3 steps?
I was just going to share that this also, as Beck was talking, it made me remember that a lot of times I can be so focused on all the stuff that's supposed to go on here, the calendar, being distracted by whatever's scrolling and stuff, that I don't remember sometimes to look up enough and appreciate what's around me, because I'm just, you know, either here or on the screen. and to remind myself to take those periodic breaks and stop and smell the roses and do those things. So I'm actually, well, it fell behind, but I actually, oh, there it is. I keep a little timer so that it literally one of those awful dollar store kitchen timer, but I put it on so that I'm like, okay, for the next 15 minutes, I can do like the MMM, and I can go scroll and I can do Facebook posts and be meaningful and intentional. And then when it goes off, it's like, sorry, girls, I'm done. I got done what I could do. And then it's like, I'm going to look up and I'm going to go take a water break, or I'm going to go do whatever else. So I love that reminds us to keep being intentional, but it's important to stop and breathe and really take in our surroundings and enjoy every part of life. It's not all about just grinding.
Yeah. I love when you said, I got done what I can do. I love that there's so much freedom in that I got done what I can do. And there's freedom in that. There's freedom in knowing that.
Yeah, while Mimi was talking, it made me think of this trip that Jay and I took, and I did a Facebook Live about it. I was pregnant, I think, with Griffin. I don't know. So it was like 5 years ago. And Jay and I took this hike to a waterfall. And the whole time walking there, I was looking down and I was afraid I was going to fall. And I think that, and I wasn't looking around at, the beautiful nature around me. And there's an aspect of that where I do need to watch where I'm walking, right? You don't want to fall when you're 5-6 months pregnant, or at all in general, right? You don't want to fall. But there are moments when you can pause and look up and see what's around you, and take those moments to enjoy your destination. When you get there, like, enjoy the waterfall, enjoy what's going on around me, and really be observant and take risks. Like I walk down the rocks and I normally would not do that. And different things like that. And so on my trip back, I took the time to mindfully look around and to see what was going on around me and still be careful with walking. So.
That's awesome. And with that, we are going to hand it over to Nicole